progress you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
Yes, you want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time, you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time, you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the PPP.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su?
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
I'm gonna do a body man walk right now. You ready? Fuck, so let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk. Body walk.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
Are you any better?
No.
You're throwing out a helpless dog?
What helpless dog? I don't need a dog in my yard, all right? You want a dog, take it, put it between your legs.
You little bastard.
No, you probably want the dog to fuck you. That's what you want.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
London, make some noise. London, if you love me, make some noise.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
That's what the police do. The police guilty. The police guilty! The police guilty! The police guilty! Are you guilty, man? Are you doing this, man? Are you doing this? Are you doing it? Are you fucking doing it, man? Are you doing this? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it?
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
That is saying 7 feet 6 inches, 5 feet 5 inches. If you look at it, right? They're saying 5'5". They're saying 7'6". They're saying 8 feet. So for 8 feet is reasonable depth for a pool. So you.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you. Thank you.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a Partnership for National Unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high-quality life.
People want to know how to vote. People want to know how to vote. You understand me? Look carefully. Where you put the X? Right there. Right at the palm. You get your ballot box. You go to the ballot, go to the booth. You go in the booth, collect your ballot, and you go and you watch all the candidates. And you go and you put your X right there at the palm. Right there! So you know how to vote now. Right at the palm.
All right. Hey, good night. My name is Mark Benchop, and welcome to Straight Up. We're going to rock and roll for 1 hour. And you guys got all of the information you need. You know where to vote. You know how to vote. And you know who you're voting for, which team you're voting for. And that's what's important in all of this. You know how to and where to put your X. On the top, you will see APNU. Don't make the mistake, APNU. Now, people suffer and countries suffer because they make the mistake. And that mistake is critical when you vote for the wrong person or the wrong party. Do not make that mistake. Do not let them come to you with crocodile tears. Politics is not a showcase. It is not about emotions. It's about your country. It's about the country's future. And it's about proper development. And the only way that that can be done, and you can see the prosperous country that you should be seeing, especially with oil wealth, billions and billions of dollars, but you're not seeing anything. It is important that you sit down tonight, sit down over the weekend, discuss with your family, those who are of voting age, young ones as well, those who haven't yet attained the age of voting. Sit down and discuss the future of your country, the future of your family, the future of your community, the future of your village. And take a check mark and you look at the political parties, whether they're new, whether they're old parties, and you look at their leaders, you look at their team, and you ask yourselves, this critical question: who is capable of leading Guyana? Who is capable? Which team is capable? And you have the check marks, not checkered marks, check marks. You want competent people. You want the country to be in the hands of competent individuals. Who is most competent? Which team is most competent at this time? In my opinion, it is the APNU. They have solid candidates, and they have candidates who have outlined through their manifesto a good plan to take Guyana out of poverty and make all Guyanese breathe again. That is what is important. Be careful with individuals setting you guys up as political pawns and shields so that they can fight their friends and their cronies and their families, all because of wealth, not because they care about you. Not because, and in the case of the Mohammeds, they don't care about you. It's pretty obvious. Some of you are so blind that you can't see it. And that is somewhat frustrating. That you guys can't see that someone is taking you to the slaughterhouse. The PPP has taken you to the slaughterhouse for 23 plus 5 years, from 1992 to 2015. You've got a recovery where Guyana was taken out of the intensive care unit, compliments of APNU AFC coalition. Without the coalition, Guyana would have gone to the dogs. But because of the coalition, they were able to rescue Guyana. And Guyana from 2015 to 2020, for the most part, Guyana was able to breathe again. What about all the corruption? What about all the extrajudicial killings? What about the unsolved crimes? You can't take a chance in gambling with your country, putting your country in the hands of people who never cared about you, or people who assisted in your downfall, assisted in wrecking the country. You need to have these sort of discussions around your dinner table, your breakfast table, whatever it is. You need to have these serious discussions. And family members who have gone astray out of emotions, some of them, I've noticed some of them peeping because they know that they have made an error out of emotions. And then when you tell them, their bumps raise. How can you go and vote for somebody who never cared about you? How can you go and support somebody someone who was part and parcel of a system that destroyed you, destroyed your young people, destroyed the country, never cared about you? Covetousness is a sin, because they get people in Guyana who have acquired wealth. Some of them, if you take a look, they've acquired wealth the wrong way, corrupt way. Whether they smuggle gold, whether they smuggle fuel, whether they're drug lords or whatever. And you guys know who they are. Those aren't people who care about you. Those aren't people who cared about the country. Those are not patriotic individuals. Those people are gangsters. They're hustlers. The more they get is the more they want. I think it's Dennis Brown that got a song, goes something like, the more them get it, the more they want. I'm sorry about that, guys. And that's what's going on. And so those who used, a few of them, they used to be on the program, but now they're peeping because they know they have made a mistake. And so they try to dilly-dally. And they're peeping. Right now, they're peeping. They don't want to be seen because, somebody said Gregory Isaacs. Thank you. Who did I say? Dennis Brown. Sorry about that. But I like that song, though. I like it. I just love it. I like the beat, the rhythm, everything. And this is the corrupt vagabonds in Guyana who feel that they could use ordinary folks. They go into the communities and they splash little money, and people eyes open, but not knowing that the little money is basically crumbs that belong to you, the people. That you, the people, were robbed of hundreds of millions of dollars, compliments of the corrupt PPP regime, because they have corrupt friends and they all live together. They all work together to oppress you. And suddenly, those individuals are walking into your communities, embracing you, giving you fake hugs, pretending as though they love you. They don't love you. They are using you. And then when y'all get used and abused and elections over and y'all get dashed to the curb, guess what? Y'all running back over. Oh, Mark. Mark. Or y'all running to Congress, please. Aubrey. Or y'all running and listening to Apostle Greenwich and Pastor Greenwich, their programs in the morning, and y'all gonna type and say, "Forgive me, Lord, for I know not what I did." Y'all have to wake up, right, Mr. Cool? Mr. Cool has been waking them up. You guys have to continue to wake them up. Wake the people up. They're sleeping. Was it Luke 12:15, right? That says, "And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness." Covetousness. And getting back to Dennis Brown. Gregory Isaac, sorry, I don't know Dennis Brown is them get it. Oh gosh, bombs raised. Look, my friend Peter Sam, Mark. Man, Mark, all politicians use people. Look a story. My friend Peter Sam, bombs raised. Bombs raised. Now, let me say this to you guys. Would you say Burnham was a politician? Let me ask Peter Sam this. Burnham was a politician. Did he use the people? Now, let's look at the legacy of Forbes Burnham. Kanji Bridge, Demerara Harbor Bridge, Linden Soosdike Highway, Quarantine Highway, you name it, Guyana Rice Board, Guyana this, Guyana, all these things. Burnham was a politician. Peter Sam, come out from under your blue umbrella. Come to the front of the class. In fact, Peter Sam, come downstairs. Come downstairs. Answer that question, Peter Sam. Now, there are politicians who go and swear the people for real. And I agree to some extent with Peter Sam that there are politicians who swear the people. There are politicians who promise the people X, Y, and Z, and they just don't deliver, right? Those are politicians and those are politicians. You know those politicians. Bharat Jagdev is not a politician. He is a politician. It's trickery upon trickery upon trickery. That's what's going on. They're tricking the people. But don't get mixed up with real politicians and the real ones who have a plan, the real ones who have delivered to you. APNU AFC, for the most part, delivered to you, delivered to the people of Guyana. Can somebody call Peter Sam? Tell him to come downstairs. Or don't tell me he's gone snoring already. He's sleeping. Tell him to come downstairs. Come to the front of the class. And so as you prepare to go out and vote on September 1st, sit back and ask yourselves, are you throwing your vote away because of emotions? You know, there's a part of the Bible, and I'm keep going to the Bible, Proverbs 3:5, lean not on thine own understandings, and all these sort of things. Some of you are not looking at the track record of individuals. Some of you are not looking to see whether people mean well for you because they may dress up in a two-piece suit. Oops. Some of them may talk a little thing that you like because they're telling you, they're giving you things, they're saying things that you like. That you like. Take this time out right now and welcome our brother Flash Garden, who is with us tonight. Flash Garden and I have our little differences. And, he is here in the audience. You see what elections do? They bring brothers together. They put smiles on people's faces and all these sort of things. Who would have ever thought that an elections could bring Flash Gordon and I together? Come on, say a little hello and welcome Flash Gordon. Welcome. Until I say something he doesn't like and licks like peas on me again. But good night to all of you guys. And that's what you call mature politics, right? Welcome. Welcome, Flash Gordon. Welcome to all of you if it's your first time and you're watching. Now, here is what's going on with some of them. I know come after the elections, some of them going to cry. Some of them going to call me and say, Mark, you're right, we should have never trust this body or that body. And you are correct. Now, if you are going to, let's get a pen. Come downstairs, guys. Come downstairs. Y'all don't fall asleep now. Come downstairs, guys. Come downstairs. Now, sorry about that. Some of you get it. Some of you don't get it. It's okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let's what's most important for you, right? Joylin Cutting, tell them come downstairs. What's more important to you guys in this elections? Is it emotions? Is it a couple dollars? Is it a t-shirt? What is it exactly? Now, here what is it? Here what it is. The country's future. Whose hands you want to put the country in? Corrupt individuals? Individuals who never cared about you? When you were suffering, when people were being slaughtered left, right, and center in that country. Some of the people who telling you now that they're going to fight for justice for you. Oh, yeah. Never cared about you. Some of them were part and parcel of the whole killing squad. Y'all think Roger Khan alone, and a bunch of them are no different than Roger Khan. So be careful. I repeat, a bunch of them are no different than Roger Khan. They help to corrupt the country, destroy the country, corrupt the police force, corrupt the Guyana Defense Force, and so forth. And with corrupt politicians, corrupt PPP politicians. That is why it's important. That is why it's important. Now, I'm saying come downstairs. Somebody telling me don't say come downstairs. What you want me to say? Come upstairs? All right, Chichester, you come upstairs. Come upstairs, then come upstairs. All right? And so y'all think a little too touchy with y'all a little touchy, Y'all can, sorry I'm saying it like one. Y'all a little touchy, Good night again. And, look, let's go back. Last night, I had a couple of guests on, Saiku Andrews, businessman Saiku Andrews. I had businessman Sean Anthony Ben and so forth. But take a look at this. This is a nursery school. This is supposed to be a nursery school, right? Who in their right mind? Look at the colors. That's not a bingo hall. Not even bingo halls look like that. But because of the PPP, they have no vision. This look like a dance hall, right? Not even Kildonan Community Center is like this. Not even a health center will look like this. Not even where Mark, welcome known as Mr. Cool throwing his parties and all these sort of things, would hold a bubble session in a place as colorful as this. Now, this is where they're putting school children. Initially, I'm almost certain that they want their objective. Because that guy and a flag and all that, no, they may put no green there. They may put no green there or anything. Y'all see what they do? What they've done? Y'all see, right? Shame on the corrupt PPP regime. Shame on those vagabonds. Shame on those snakes. Shame on those swines. And you cannot exchange swines, political swines, with political swines. You cannot do that. Otherwise, Guyana will not go anywhere at all. It's going to get worse, because if you exchange a swine and put another swine, is bare corruption, is bare, as they say in the street, is bare moderation. Because people can take out revenge, and the revenge will come onto the streets. That is what's going to happen. That is why it's important that all you sit down, as the Trinidadians would say, all you sit down and all you vote properly. All you don't vote with emotions. A couple of dollars now will make you happy tonight. This reminds me of taking a trip at the fish shop on Hatfield Street. You take a little moccasin and you drink it up and you enjoy it and so forth and so on. And when you're enjoying it, by the time you go home next day, you realize that your money done and you're frustrated. You say, what am I going to do today? Because the sweetness done and your money done, and your fish up money, your moccasin, and it done. And you're ashamed to tell the people, your friends, your neighbors and things, that you made a mistake by drinking out your money. Do not make that mistake and vote for the wrong person or the wrong party, because cat will eat your dinner. Speaking of eating dinner, Wayne Caesar just had his dinner. He's with us tonight. Good night to you, sir. How are you?
A pleasant good evening to you, Mark, and all the listening viewers. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Wayne is with us tonight. All of you, every single one of you, I want to say good night and welcome to Straight Up. Remember, September 1st is Elections Day. You've got to go out. You've got to vote. Don't throw your vote away. Don't waste your vote on people, especially people who have never been there for you, people who don't love you, people who don't respect you, and especially individuals who destroyed your communities. You think people like the Mohammeds cared about you poor people? They got 83,000 acres of land. They never cared about you then. They're accumulating wealth upon wealth. They never cared about you then. Come on, guys. Come on. Wayne Caesar again, good night. And to all of you, every single one of you, Carlotta, how are you doing? Good night to you. And now, Wayne, let's get straight into business. Elections are around the corner. But let me say before we get into business, Wayne, you and I had a bet. I told you that Flash Garden would have come back crawling over to this program. He cannot do without this program. Flash Garden would have come crawling over to his brother Mark. So said, so done. Flash is in the audience. Good night, Wayne. What's going on? September 1st around the corner. We noticed the other day there was a nice meeting, a massive meeting in your village of Plaisance. But outside of Plaisance, what's happening as we prepare for elections in Guyana? Good night.
Good evening, Mark. And let's put it into context. It wasn't just the meeting at Plaisance, but all of the meetings would have had massive crowds. So that alone would have sent a message. So enough said about that. What's going on? I'm very, very optimistic about the chances of the APNU opposition this coming September 1st, 2025. Very, very optimistic. And, I am seeing that, GCOM is trying to throw a few wrenches, in the spokes there with what would have occurred today with regards to additional polling stations. Mark, did you see that?
Yeah, I did see, but we can talk about that. Yes, I did see it. A recipe for corruption, Wayne. Recipe for corruption. Those are things when we see it, it makes you say, And I also saw the three commissioners for the opposition walked out and they said, no. They smell a rat there. They smell Barat there. They smell a rat there. They smell Barat there. Corruption, rigging. The recipe is right in front of your face. Were y'all waiting? Look, when you see something fishy, understand how fishy it is. And this is how fishy GCOM is right now. Fishy.
Yeah.
Wait, continue.
I
Please.
mean, Mark, when I look at the situation, right, they're going from 47 polling stations and they're requesting 66. That, when you look at the sample alone, that is very material. And that would be very concerning. You're not asking for 5 additional polling stations or 6. You're asking for 66. 19, wrong that by accounting standards, 20 additional polling stations. That doesn't make too much sense. The Guyana Elections Commission had 5 years to study all of this, do their feasibility studies, map all the regions, and be ready for regional and general elections this year. What have happened? I have complained over and over that I am of the belief that GCOM did absolutely nothing. It's not to say that they were busy getting biometrics in place or busy doing house-to-house registration for a new voters list. They've done absolutely nothing. This is unacceptable. The opposition should not accept this. The people who are, don't have a station to go to, they need to find another station, one of those 47 stations, and let the people go there, get their information there, and let them go there. Or maybe the elections may need to be delayed a little, if that is what it's going to take, Mr. Benchcap, to let these elections be free and fair. Because for once, the Guyanese people need to have a free and fair electoral process. It hasn't happened in 2020. It needs to happen in 2025. And look, Mark, compare 2020 to now, I am seeing a complete different dispensation of Guyanese. They are not tolerating nonsense, and I am loving it. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Guyanese people, they do not need to sit down and take what is being dished out to them there at GCOM. The recipe for corruption is there, and I'm glad that the 3 opposition commissioners at GCOM are taking a position now, an active role in what is happening there at GCOM. And the question is, it's better late than never, but it is something that they should have been doing for almost maybe about 2 months or so, because people have been saying that something isn't smelling right at the Guyana Elections Commission. And even so, even as we approach elections in Guyana on Monday, September 1st, when was the last time Mr. Caesar or even members of the audience heard from the Elections Commission, the chairman or the chairwoman of the Guyana Elections Commission? This is troubling. She's putting other individuals in front. And then when those individuals like the CEO, the chief elections officer, or the deputy chief elections officer, they usually say, well, they can't answer this question, they can't answer that question. Well, why the heck you call a press conference if you can't answer questions? And where is Claudette Singh? Why do you suppose, Mr. Caesar, that Claudette Singh is in hiding?
Well, Mark, one of the reasons could be that they just don't want to face and answer the pertinent questions. Yes, they've pushed the CEO up front, but there's a lot of questions that was asked to the CEO that he just could not answer. And Mark, you would ask, what was the purposes of those GCOM meetings? Though the purposes of those meetings is so that GCOM can, quote unquote, say that they were transparent with the people of Guyana. But I want them to know that the people of Guyana are smart and is on to them. That is unacceptable. Claudette Singh should have been in attendance. Look, this is a critical election. It's not time for anyone to be absent. She's being paid by the taxpayers of Guyana. She had a right to be present there to answer the pertinent questions. So there's no excuses there. And GCOM cannot come forward and say, look, we held these press conferences and we were transparent. No, they were probably 25% transparent because they didn't answer most of the questions. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wayne Caesar. It's 43 minutes after 9 o'clock. If you're now joining us, my name is Mark Benchop, and with Wayne Caesar is with us. And somebody has asked, let me apologize for having that photograph up there. I know it's late in the night and you guys want to fall asleep the right way. We need to call Claudette Singh completely out. Claudette Singh needs to be called out. This is an important period. This is elections period. Claudette Singh cannot go into hiding. And my thing is that Claudette Singh, and somebody just mentioned that Claudette Singh probably is in the witness protection program because she's in hiding. You don't see her. She ducks and runs into a little room. The last time, I think it was either Gordon Mosley or Travis Chase tried to ask a question, and she ducked through a side door and she bolted away, and she's gone. Just like in the nights in the quarantine, you know, somebody pick up a broom and they're gone. We already know what that signifies, but she doesn't show herself, and because of that, people are tired, people are suspicious of what is happening there at GCOM. You mentioned earlier additional polling stations and so forth. A lot of these polling stations, Wayne and members of the audience, let me say this, a lot of those polling stations are at the premises of PPP operatives. Now, the reason why they may want more polling stations is to ensure, and this is just my opinion, to ensure that they do whatever cook up that they got to cook up, right, Charlene Moses? And to do the cook up, it simply means that these polling stations, if they are going to be housed or they're going to be at the bottom houses of PPP operatives, for example, we heard in New Amsterdam, it's at the premises of a known PPP operative now. Well, she's a PPP operative now, Carol Trimbagen. Whether that is true or not, why should a polling station be at Carol Trimbagen's house or a property that she owns? According to information, mind you. Why should polling station be at Bishop or Bishop, whatever he calls himself, Edgill's church on Durban Street? Why? And that's the question. Why? And if we are to be honest enough to answer the question, then what will pop up in our minds is, well, we understand why. 61 dead voters. And for those who are non-Guyanese who are watching, 61 dead voters in the 2020 elections, 4,864 absent voters, 150 stuffed ballot boxes, 47 ballot boxes without documents, 1,278 missing oaths of identity. Could this be the reason why the PPP wants extra polling stations? Could this be the reason why the PPP, well, according to what we heard, they instructed GCOM to rent friends and cronies so that their premises can be held as polling station? Your take, Mr. Caesar.
Well, first of all, Mark, when we look at Guyana and look at a population that is under 1 million people, and plus the fastest growing economy in the world, you know, we've had 5 years of oil, all right? It behooves me to see that we are still having private residences be polling stations. You know, that should not happen. I'm not sure if the public schools are closed on Monday. But if that is not the case, they should have been closed. And you can use the schools, okay, to do that. And if you're going to use, let's say, a personal property, then that property you need to have all the parties, you know, involved in that and agreeing to that. You cannot just say, okay, we're using this private residence as a polling station. That is not fair. And Mark, like you would have said, and I agree with you, and I am sure most of the audience agrees with you, that using personal residence as polling station really creates a massive loophole for corruption. Okay? Massive loophole for rigging. And like the leader of the opposition would have said, and I am totally in agreement with him 100%, and it's not just him. The other small parties too have come out and said that they will not sit there and allow the PPP to rig this 2025 elections without repercussions. I 100% stand with them and agree with them on that. Over to you, sir.
49 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for that. There will be repercussions. Nobody knows what those repercussions are. People want a peaceful resolution. People want a free, fair elections, and people want the corrupt PPP out of office. And having the corrupt PPP out of office cannot be, you cannot replace one set of corrupt people or a corrupt individual, as in the case with Jack Deere and them, with another corrupt individuals who was just in bed with them, cooking up and oppressing people and all manner of things. It cannot happen. And in order for Guyana to breathe again, you got to have a group of competent individuals who you can put your trust in, and to know that for the most part that they will do what they have promised you in their manifesto. We'll take a quick break. You'll listen to Aubrey Norton, and then we'll get Mr. Caesar's take on the manifesto of the PNC or the APNU coalition.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of their Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a Partnership for National Unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.
And enjoy a high quality life next to the palm. And you can't take chances, especially with a corrupt individual who only looking to save themselves. You cannot do that. That is why the PPP has to go, and you cannot replace the PPP with PPP2, PPP1, and then PPP2. Just do not do that. But before we get into that and the manifesto, please, Mr. Caesar, let me just remind people what the PPP is doing as part of the rigging process. They are going around and they are checking out houses that are empty, people who are overseas, wherever they are, and they are creating fake names and fake IDs and so forth and so on. And they're mailing those fake things to the people's houses and the address where, you know, I've had quite a few people, I'm looking for a message, quite a few folks who have said that they have received mails at home, at their homes, that those people don't live there. They've never heard of those individuals. And now if the PPP do something like that for about, if they create 50,000 fake ID cards, what do you think that is? That is almost 4 seats. That is why you've got to pay careful attention when the PPP say that they are going to win by a landslide. Again, corruption is in the process. Before we get to, I want to do something here, Mr. Caesar. I want to make a phone call, and I want to try something out with this phone call. We want to be able to find out what are these people really doing with taxpayers' monies. We know that millions upon millions of dollars they are spending. It's taxpayers' monies. So I want to find out something. I will. Yeah, I want to make a phone call, please. We got to find out something. We'll make that phone call and we put it live on the air. We want to find something out.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to...
All right. Hopefully they may return the call. But the PPP is spending hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars in trying to buy votes. And now they're advertising that people who need to travel home to Guyana, they can call certain numbers, they can do certain things. Recipe for corruption and obvious desperation on the part of the corrupt PPP regime, because they've been caught with their corruption. They know that people, even people from outside of Guyana, know what they have done to rig the process in 2020, to rig the process in, at least they attempted to rig 2015 elections, but they got caught. They were told to stop. Part of the big rigging of elections to the PPP is the spreadsheets, fake spreadsheets. It has been used many times. But let's get back into the PNC manifesto, APNU manifesto. Talk a little bit about it, please, sir.
Well, Mark, you know, the biggest thing that stands out for me, because I'm a stickler when it comes to poverty, right? I would love to see poverty eradicated in Guyana. So when I look at the manifesto, the thing that really stands out to me is the opportunity for both middle-aged young Guyanese and even older Guyanese to get the opportunity to own a home and to have a piece of land of their own. I believe that that is a great start to some measure of prosperity in Guyana that the Guyanese people have not experienced for a very, very long time. They could say better than 4 decades that they have not experienced that. So that part of the manifesto really stands out to me. Also, the manifesto it's youth focus. It focuses on the young people. The party is showing that they are willing to invest in the future of Guyana, because the future of Guyana stands in our youth. We need to make sure that we have strong education programs to make sure that our people are educated on top of that technical program. So those who are not, wanting to be in the whole academic world, but wants to be more technical and more hands-on, creating those programs. With Comrade Norton, anything is possible. I'm waiting to see if maybe the Guyana National Service is gonna come back to the table, or if it is that they're gonna use like the technical institutes and these type of things to foster that, technical knowledge to the Guyanese people. And when you look at what would have happened over the last 3 decades, we have a lot of people that are in the streets that would have either went to a technical school or would have went to University of Guyana, but they were denied that by the PPPC government. So here is an opportunity for these people to have their dreams realized. Like I would have said before, the PPP is a dream-breaking party, and they have broken the dreams of many, many, many Guyanese. But with this strong manifesto that I would have seen here from the opposition, and look, it is not just the manifesto that is strong. I believe the APNU have a very, very strong group. Okay, and I wouldn't say from top to bottom. I wouldn't use top to bottom because they're all strong. Okay, they all stand side by side. And I am very, very confident that once the APNU execute according to that manifesto, okay, they are going to be in government for a very, 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 very long time. It's about being transparent. It's about being responsible and not reckless, which the PPP has been. They have been irresponsible when it comes to human capital. They have not addressed the Guyanese people. Okay, $100,000 cash grant is not good enough for 5 years of oil extraction, amongst other things. I am confident that the APNU is going to, have yearly cash disbursements to the people of Guyana. The APNU does not call it cash grant because they feel like if the Guyanese people is getting what is actually theirs. So it's not Mr. Norton going to come and sign off and say, here you go, here's a little grant for you, here's a little something for you. No, that's not the way it's going to work. And I believe it's going to be passing through Parliament where it's going to become a law. Once the oil revenue gets a certain threshold, the Guyanese people are entitled to a cash disbursement. I like things when I see it in law. Okay, when it passes through Parliament and become a law, because you know that government have to act on the law, which I know that APNU will. The PPP has not acted on the law. And Mark, you spoke on the fact that, you know, the PPP is trying all these different things to get people into the country to vote. They've brought in Bangladeshi nurses and their families. Look, man, guys, I spoke to a Guyanese nurse today, and she indicated to me that the Bengali nurses are making more than them. They're being paid more than them. Food is free. Okay, housing is free. Can you believe that somebody is coming from a different country and is getting what our Guyanese nurses are not getting? How could that be fair? How can that be equity for all? How can that be equitable for our Guyanese nurses? Show me what is attracting them to want to be nurses in Guyana when other people can come from an external nation and earn more than them. Okay, so these are the things that the PPP have done over this last 5 years. And look, it will not work. Okay, it will not work. I believe that the PPP will be comprehensively voted out of government. I do not believe that the Guyanese people are silly enough to keep these people in power for another 5 years. It is just not feasible, okay, to a sustainable life for the normal, everyday Guyanese. Not feasible. Who tell the PPP that Guyanese workers want their ceiling of employment or having a career to be 10-day work? You know, come on. We have to empower our people. We have to make them stronger. We have to give them an opportunity to realize their dreams, Mark. And you see, it's these type of stresses that stresses people out a lot. That's why you'll be having domestic issues where people are killing each other and all of these type of things, because it's, you know, it's very stressful when you got to struggle to figure out how you're going to eat, how you're going to pay rent, how you're going to do all these things. Very stressful. Over to you, Mr. Mencha.
Thank you so much. At 1 minute after 10 o'clock, Wayne Caesar being very passionate and reasons why you guys should go out and vote. I noticed Wayne has a green tie on. I don't know if it's by coincidence, but we do have green ties on tonight. But let's go straight to the phone. We have Malcolm Harry Paul, former lieutenant of the Guyana Defense Force. Malcolm, good night. How are you, sir?
Very good night to you, Mark, and to Wayne and all the viewers and listeners out there. Very good night to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time out. I know you have you've gone through with some of your troubles. You have said what you have said about PPP supporters going and join the Guyana Defense Force and the police force and so forth. And the PPP went right after you to persecute you, not to prosecute, persecute you. We will touch on that shortly. But you have endorsed APNU coalition in the 2025 elections, and come September 1st, I'm almost certain that you are going out there and vote for APNU coalition. What attracted you to APNU coalition, please?
Well, it was first of all, Aubrey Norton, the presidential candidate of APNU, is a man free from corruption. I know him to be a man of honesty, a man of integrity, a man who says he will do something, he will get it done once he has the power to get it done. And I know that all the promises that he's making, he will get it done once he's elected president of Guyana. And he, being a working class person, will rule in the interest of the working class people of Guyana and will ensure that wealth is passed on directly to the working people of Guyana. And that's why I support him.
You know, the PPP is talking now that they're going to fight corruption. They're going to do all. What have they been doing for 23 years, plus the 5 years they've been installed from 2020 to now?
Well, to begin with, when the PPP got power in October 1992, that is when this corruption started. That is when the PPP transformed itself from a working class party into a criminal enterprise party, because they allowed their supporters, their financiers, to engage in drug trafficking, gold smuggling, and money laundering. And that continued when the PPP got back into power in 2020 on a much larger scale of cocaine trafficking, gold smuggling, and money laundering. The economy of Guyana, the PPP's economy of Guyana is one of money laundering. All these projects that they're doing It's a way of giving their financiers an opportunity to launder money, because these so-called contractors do not go to the bank for loans. They take loans from these from the PP financiers, the drug traffickers and the gold smugglers. When the government pays the contractors cut a check for the criminals, and the criminals go to the bank and bank the check, and it's clean money. That's how they launder the money. The economy is all about money laundering. The PPP's economy, all about money laundering and criminal enterprise. That's what it's about.
And do you have the confidence in Aubrey Norton's leadership to go after these criminal enterprises that have been destroying Guyana over the years?
Absolutely. I have absolute confidence in Aubrey Norton. As I said, I know I've known Aubrey for a very, very long time. And I know that once he says something, he will get it done. That's how I know the man. He will get it done.
Wayne Caesar, any question for Malcolm?
Seeing that Malcolm is, a former member of the Guyana Defense Force, and when you look at our population now, when you look at the young people that are in the streets, walk in the streets, nothing to do because jobs are just not available to them. We have a lot of Venezuelans in the country who's occupying a lot of the jobs for less and stuff. So we have a lot of people walking around. I want to ask Mr. Harry Paul, because I know he has been big also on the Guyana National Service. If bringing back the Guyana National Service if he thinks that's a good solution to that issue.
Malcolm?
Yes, we definitely need to bring back the Guyana National Service to save our youths. And in conjunction with the Guyana National Service, the Aubrey Norton government must rehabilitate the Ministry of Works. The Ministry of Works was destroyed by the PPP back in the post-1992 elections. They destroyed the Ministry of Works so that they give contracts to their friends. Their friends became contractors. So instead of the Ministry of Works doing certain works in Guyana, we have PP contractors doing the work. All right? So why I say we have to do it in conjunction with the Ministry of Works? In the National Service, we will be training youth to take up jobs in the Ministry of Works. All right? You're training people to be engineers, to be inspectors, to be technicians, to be skilled laborers in placing cement concrete, in placing asphalt concrete, skilled laborers in maintaining roads, in maintaining bridges, because there'll be a lot of infrastructure work to be done, and you need skilled people to get these jobs done. So the training will come from the National Service, along with a new Ministry of Public Works.
Well said there, Malcolm. Malcolm, a question picking up on what Wayne asked concerning you being your background, a military guy, lieutenant in the Guyana Defense Force. Malcolm, and let me just say that you served your time in the Guyana Defense Force under the People's National Congress under Burnham, and I think you left after Hoyt or before Hoyt, President Hoyt?
I left during President Hoyt's presidency.
Yeah. So, Malcolm, how do you think the joint services, the police, the Guyana Defense Force, the fire, and the prison service, how are they being treated under the PPP regime?
Well, I can say for the police, the police upper echelons are the most corrupt you can find in the world, because they have been pampered by the PPP. They're in cahoots with the PPP financiers. And as I said, the most corrupt set of people in the world, and that is why you have them so obedient. Actually, stooges of the People's Party. That's how the PP like them. As regards to other organizations, I really can't say much about what is the feeling in the GDF or the prison service or the fire service and so on. But for the police, I say they're the most corrupt police force in the world, one of the most corrupt police force in the world. And that is by design by the PPP. They like to have corrupt people to deal with. They do not like to have honest people around them. They like corrupt people around them. That's the PPP.
Yep, as we prepare to wrap things up. Wayne, any other question for Mr. Harry Paul, please?
Yes, and Malcolm, this one is going to come from another direction. When we look at Gaisuco, we see that sugar is dying. Do you believe that the sugar workers, the young sugar workers, do you believe that they should be, considered for reskilling within the Guyana National Service?
Well, it's not the case that sugar is dying. Sugar has been dead for quite a while.
All right.
Look at what the Skellen estate, the Skellen plant that Jagdeo built at the cost of $250 million US. He spent $250 million US to build a new estate at Skellen that never produced sugar. Never produced sugar. All right? And that we can say is the state of the sugar industry. It's a dead thing. The PP just keeps pumping money into something dead. And in terms of retooling, definitely the sugar workers, especially younger ones, they have to be retrained to do other jobs because sugar is a dead issue in Guyana.
Certainly have to be trained. How much? We're not hearing much picking back up on the sugar industry. The PPP seem to have lost focus on the sugar industry. Not much we're being told. We're not hearing much about Gaisuku and so forth. How much have the PPP destroyed? You mentioned the 200 million sugar factory wasted by Jagdeo and the PPP. But in your opinion, how much has the PPP contributed to destroying the sugar industry and the lives of sugar workers in Guyana?
They're the people who, they are the sole destroyers of the sugar industry. Even when they were in opposition back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, all those sugar strikes that we called sugar strikes willy-nilly. For example, in 1977, they called a 135-day sugar strike. So they were born in the caves, they were sabotaging the factories. All that contributed to the destruction of the sugar industry. Yet, when they got power in 1992, the sugar industry under President Hoyt was still functional. They were still making a profit and so on. All right? They inherited the sugar industry, was still making a profit under Desmond Hoyt. But under the PPP, within 5-7 years, the industry started going down the drain. All right? And that's a fact. You can check it out.
Hey, Malcolm, I know we've said final. I know you've got to go. We've got to go too. But the rigging of elections, there seem to be some signs. People are seeing those obvious signs. I noticed somebody mentioned, Aubrey Williams mentioned that GCOM is in trouble. Are you confident that GCOM will deliver free, transparent, and fair elections?
No. Once you have that bloated list, and it is only the PPP that wanted to have that bloated list in place, it gives the PPP the opportunity to engage in what I call ballot box fraud. Okay, and this is how they do it. At the level of the ballot box, that is at the level of the polling place, on the list, let's say the list has like 100 people on the list, but in fact, out of that 100, only 70 of the people are actually in Guyana, living in Guyana. The others might be out of the country. They might have died. All right. But what will happen at that polling place in PP strongholds is that will mark up ballots. All right. They mark up ballots to everybody in the list. So instead of having 70 people voting, you have 100 people voting. And that's how the PP go about rigging elections. It's rigging the level of the ballot box. Okay?
So the rigging, and what about the spreadsheet? Because we've been hearing a lot about the spreadsheets, Malcolm.
Yes, well, it all ties in. Listen, you have to go back to the 2020 elections. Remember the people were holding on to the ballot boxes after the elections and guarding the ballot boxes. They have guardians of democracy. And you had people guarding ballot boxes because they knew that in the end, no matter what the SOP says, no matter what the spreadsheet says, it all boils down to what is in the ballot box. And they knew they had the fraud ballots in the box. And when there was a recount, you have to count all the ballots because you can't tell which is a fraud ballot from a real ballot. So all the ballots are counted. All right? But in that recount, we saw how it was done because we saw dead people voting, people living abroad voting. There was multiple cases of multiple voting. It was all there. All right? And it happens, as I said, it happens at the level of the ballot box. It doesn't really happen in GCOM headquarters or with SOPs. It happens at the level of the ballot box.
But why do you suppose that the PPP were so focused. They were so focused on blaming coalition for the SOPs. That's one. Why do you think the PPP focused on that? And 5 years after, they cannot produce any evidence that the PNC or APNU did anything wrong with their SOPs.
I really can't see why they're focusing on the SOPs. I guess it's a distraction, but I'm saying that what the fraud is committed at the level of the ballot box, okay? And I would like to say, well, you have polling agents, you have this and so, but the fact remains the fraud is committed at the level of the ballot box. And once you put the fraud ballot in the box, it has to be counted. And that's how they do it.
Are you guys in the opposition prepared to be vigorous and look over especially polling agents, because they usually send these polling agents with, I got buy lunch, man, and come back.
Well, this is where the PP financiers, these criminals come into play also, because, for example, in the 2020 elections at a certain region, a certain gold man was responsible for that region, and he put up like $100 million on election day to do certain for people to engage in skullduggery. The money is passed on to these contractors, and they move people around in minibuses. They move them around in canter trucks and so on to engage in multiple voting. And the polling agents, they entice them with cash to leave the place to go buy food, or entice them outside to do have a talk with them and so on. While they're out of the polling place, the presiding officer and others do their own thing there with the ballots. All right? They have the ways and means of doing it. They did it in 2020, they did it in 2015, they did it in 2011. All right?
All right, Malcolm
So
Hartwell.
multiple times.
Of course. And what's your take on this whole thing here now? I think Wayne mentioned it earlier, the polling stations and PPP supporters and renting their properties and these sort of things. Why the rush?
Yes, because now on election there'll be confusion. The polling agent, like the opposition polling agent, will turn up at the school. But hey, they go to the school and there's no polling taking place there because they've shifted the polling place to PP person residence. All right? And by the time the polling agent gets the residence, most of the people on the list would have voted. Most of the ballots would have been cast in the ballot box already. All right? And then also when you have the polling places at private residences in PP strongholds, some polling agents are afraid to go there. You know, remember the PP strongholds are in the rural areas, they're isolated. You know, nobody wants to go and work in Blackbush Polo or down in Canals Polo or Windsor Forest and Lenore in these areas, especially and to stay there after dark and sun. All right? So that's why they're moving them into people's residences.
You know, Malcolm, hope to see you on the campaign. Hope they put you on that final night rally speech. You need to be talking. You need to be out there on the campaign speaking. I hope they could give you a little 3 minutes, a little 2 minutes, and so forth. And so on.
They also need to rally the supporters in Georgetown, especially South Georgetown. Once they could get all the voters in South Georgetown, especially, right, they'll win the elections. In spite of all that the people will do on election day to rig the elections, once APNU can get the supporters from South Georgetown out, the grassroots supporters, they'll win the elections. There's no if about it.
What's going on with your case? They're persecuting you. What's going on with that?
Well, unfortunately, that matter has been going on for 2 years now. My lawyer, Dr. Todd, had made no case submissions, which the magistrate overruled, and called upon me to make a defense. Then another lawyer had made a submission, and it's going on and on. And long and short, the case is coming up again on the 25th of September.
Malcolm Hartwell, thank you so much. Thank you for your service in the Guyana Defense Force. Thank you for standing up and representing Guyana. I noticed there's a question there by, who is it? Wayne Flash Gordon is asking, do you agree, Malcolm, with your service in the Guyana Defense Force that as soon as someone attains the age of 18, they should at least serve for maybe a year or two in the Guyana Defense Force. Your take?
Well, I think there should be a compulsory service. Not necessarily the GDF. It could be the National Service or even the Guyana People's Militia.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. All the best. And I know you'll go out on September 1st and do the right thing. Thank you, Malcolm.
Take care. Thank you, Mark.
Malcolm, Harry Paul there for you guys, telling it as it is. Like I've said, Wayne, Malcolm, this is just my opinion. We need to see folks like Malcolm with the experience and so forth on the campaign trail. And I hope he gets a spot in the final night rally. Where's the final night rally, Wayne? At Square of the Revolution?
Yes, sir.
Yep. I hope Malcolm gets a 1 minute, a 2 minute, or 3 minutes or something like that. Anything else we can say before wrapping up, Wayne?
Yeah, well, Mark, look, I would like to really encourage the Guyanese people, the electorate, to really come out on September 1st. It's imperative that you do. When you have a bloated voters list with around 776,000 voters, and the last time I looked at statistics, it said Guyana would have approximately 830 or 31,000 people. To know that 776,000 of those people are adult and voters is very concerning. Okay, so the people needs to the electorate needs to really come out in their numbers afternoon and vote. Look, we remember from 2020 that the server went home to Anil Giddens' house and all of that, and it wasn't the PPP that was sitting in government when all of this happened. Now that the PPP is sitting in government, guys, don't you think that those people have worked tremendously on the rigging mechanism and is ready for September 1st? They are. But what we have to hope is that the opposition did their homework and is ready to challenge and mitigate the rigging. I cannot say 100% the PPP will not get to rig, but you need to mitigate it. If you can mitigate it, you will still come out victorious. Guyanese, remember this. You're voting, okay, for sustainability, sustainable prosperity. All right, you're voting for education, better education for your children. You're voting to get a piece of the pie from your resources, the oil resource. You have gold, you have a whole lot of natural resources in Guyana. You're voting so that you can be a part of that also. You can receive something from that, okay? It's not just going to the PPP, friends, family, and favorites. You deserve a piece of it. You are living on that landmass. You're occupying that landmass. And last but not least, you want to vote for a people-centric government, a government that puts the people first, not a transactional government. Okay, a government that puts people first. When you're talking about building a nation, it starts and ends with the human capital being educated and ready to go out on the world stage and perform. Mark, thank you for having me. To all listeners and viewers, thank you very much for listening, and over to you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Wayne Caesar, and to all of you in the audience, thank you so much for your contributions there in the comment section. And speaking of contributions, if you guys have any contributions to make, you can make contact with Congress Place. They need your help. Putting up tents and stages, and then to get water and to get meals and so forth for Elections Day workers, you can play your role. You can play your role. And maybe tomorrow night, Friday night, we should have a telethon right here, where you would be able to make your pledge, and hopefully I'll get some information, whether it's a Zelle directly that goes directly to the party. They need your help, and you can make that difference. Neville Seatal, you need to be on the campaign as well. I hope they give you something, a minute or so. You need to tell your story. Neville Seatal, also known as Civic and so forth. Hey guys, be careful. The PPP, they're calling people around. They are bringing people to Guyana, lots and lots of people. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. And so this is a spending money. So when you see somebody with a t-shirt, a red t-shirt tonight, must know they get a little money for it. When you see them tomorrow night with a blue t-shirt, must know they get a little money for it. But the only way forward is when you see people with the green t-shirt. They don't have to pay for it. They ain't got to get swore for it. They put it on. Be careful with people who are paying you money to put on the t-shirts. Those are the people who do not give a rat's you know what about you. Wayne, again, thank you so much for your time. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Now, let me say this. I notice, because you know, Selwyn Peters has joined the Trench Crapo team, right? He's our favorite to pick on. Every time he comes at noticiousness, we will pick on him. Selwyn Peters has joined the Trench Crapo team. Y'all know who Selwyn Peters is, right? Well, this is Selwyn Peters. That's him. Now, everybody is talking. Everybody's doing their thing. Everybody's saying what they're saying. And Selwyn Peters wants to know if I am going home. Selwyn Peters, why you want to know whether I am going to Guyana to vote or not? Why are you so interested in that? You want to pick me up at the airport? You want me to come at your house and say, come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs? You focus on the party that's giving you sour soup to drink. You focus on that party that has oppressed people, those oppressors, those vagabonds, those corrupt individuals, those thieves. You focus on them. You don't focus on whether I am coming home to vote or not. Selwyn. Anyways, Selwyn, come downstairs. Come downstairs. Anyways, my name is Mark Benchap, and again, be careful. Be careful. Don't allow emotions to get your way. Bumps raising. Don't allow emotions. Go out and vote. Vote for people who can save Guyana, not people who can save themselves. Vote for people who can speak properly, not people who can't speak. They can't articulate. They don't have a vision. They have no policy. They have nothing. Nothing. They're just talking song bites. Song bites can't put Guyana together. Song bites can't bring Guyana and heal Guyana. And now, you know, when they talk is, you know, Desiree Simons is asking, what's with come downstairs? Come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs. Somebody tell Desiree Simon, well, come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs. Come downstairs, Civic, come down, not Civic, Critic. Come downstairs, Critic, come downstairs. Come downstairs, come downstairs. I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. Tomorrow will be a night where you can send your little money to Congress Place. We want to raise for them at least $1 million right here on 107.1 FM. What are they going to do with that $1 million? To buy food, to buy drinks, transportation, maybe some buses to transport people. We can do it right here on 107.1 FM. But we need the correct information. We got to get a proper Zelle so that when you guys, and it's going to be done through the party, and it has to be confirmed by someone at the party. Now, they have a bank account and so forth given to me by Bonita, but let's deal with all of that tomorrow. Bonita is up and about in Guyana. There is an account number, a GBTI, yeah, and then there is a Cash App number. All of these things we've got to verify. I know Bonita Montague, she wouldn't give us fake things, but I want to be able to put the proper information on screen. So tomorrow night, guess what, guys? Tomorrow night. In fact, let me get some information right now so we can start it right now. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of their Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a Partnership for National Unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.
All right, sorry about that. So here's what we're going to do. There is a Cash App that is set to be official. I got it from one of the party operatives there at Congress Place. And this is the Cash App information. And I don't want to give you guys wrong information. I notice folks are already asking. This is the Cash App information. I will also give you guys the I'll forget about Selvin. Selvin is a distraction. So this is the Cash App information. Cash App, $, that is the $ PNCR official. PNCR official. That's sorry, so you can start doing your little thing there. $ PNCR official. So if you go to your Cash App, you'll able to see PNCR official. And so we want to make sure we take you down the right path, even if it's a $5, even if it's $2. Green Tea is asking whether there's any Zelle. I'll have to clear that up with the party. But this is what we have, the Cash App. If you have $5 right now, go over to that Cash App. If you have $10 right now, we can start it right now. $10 right now. And let me check out this $, PNCR. Okay, it says PNCR official. PNCR official. You guys will have all of the necessary, the proper information that you need. And I will put that up on my page as well, so that Andrea D and all of you, I'll put all of that information up on my page. So you can start making your donations. Sorry, I'll remove that from the page. I want to get and so that I know that you guys are making your donations at the right place. So I'll clear that up so that you can start the process. And by now and Saturday, you can raise on behalf of 107.1 FM at least 1 million or 1.5 million Guyana dollars right here. So I will get all of that information for you. You'll see it in our pages, and we can have that telethon tomorrow. Siobhan McCallman said $ PNCR official. $ now. Let's be clear, I'm not sure. I want to clear stuff first. So please, I want to clear stuff first. I'm not, as I checked the Cash App, nothing is showing up for $ PNCR official. So let's pull back on that. It's very important how you donate your hard-earned money. You want to ensure that it goes to the right place. And I did check the Cash App information, and Keith Beresford is correct. Nothing is showing up. So be very careful, guys. We will give you the correct information right here on 107.1 FM. If there's a Zelle information, We also want to be able to give you the correct Zelle information and the correct bank account as well. All of that I will clear up. So tomorrow, be prepared, get your checkbooks out, get your cash, whatever it is that you have to do, and make that donation. Whether it's $1, whether it's $5, whether it's $10, you can make that donation. You can make that contribution. See you tomorrow, same place, same time. God bless you, and God continues to bless that beautiful country, Guyana. So long.
People want to know how to vote. People want to know how to vote. You understand me? Look carefully. Where you put the X. Right there. Right at the palm. You get your ballot box. You go to the ballot, go to the booth. You go in the booth, collect your ballot, and you go and you watch all the candidates. And you go and you put your X right there at the palm. Right there! So you know how to vote now. Right at the palm.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of their Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a Partnership for National Unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high-quality life. Thank you.
Yes. You want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time, you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time, you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you, and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the people.